Dan Labbe, Mary Kay Cabot, Ashley Bastock. We are at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, where the Browns won the Hall of Fame game today against the Jets, 21-16. I think the big story today, Mary Kay, is probably Dorian Thompson-Robinson. He's the person that everyone wanted to see. He came in the second half, and he certainly lived up to the hype. A few guys in the locker room afterwards saying he looked like that guy at UCLA, and he really did.
Yeah, he was lights out here on a night where the lights went out in Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. So he came in the second half. He put 2 touchdowns on the board, one by his old buddy, UCLA teammate Demetric Felton, and then a really nice touchdown pass to Austin Watkins. Great throw, great route. But Dorian Thompson, he was the story. It was a sluggish night, and he lit it up.
And Ashley, of course, a lot of guys were talking about that block that he threw for Demetric Felton. It was a little reminiscent of Jacoby Brissett when he threw that block for Anthony Schwartz. And I don't remember what game it was. Against Tampa Bay. So to see Dorian kind of make a play like that in the preseason game, it seemed to get guys' attention too.
Yeah, I'm glad you led me into that block because that's exactly what I was going to bring up. I think that just kind of shows, it takes a lot of effort for a quarterback to lay out a block like that. Demetric Felton, I know we talked to him in the locker room after Dan, and he talked about it felt just like UCLA, like it's something that he seemed very used to seeing. So I thought Dorian Thompson-Robinson went out there and did what he needed to do. I think at the very least, he got some jitters out, but he also did more than that. And I think that's so important when you go into a game like this one where you're just trying to get these young guys really good at the processing and things like that.
Now, DeJuan Jones, also a story today. He played every snap at right tackle, start to finish. He talked a little bit about his conditioning, how that's kind of getting back up to speed, Mary Kay, but significant that they said to DeJuan Jones, we want you out there, and we want you out there every single snap of this football game.
Well, part of the reason they had to do that is because of availability. Tyrone Wheatley was not able to go tonight, so they had to go with what they had. They had James Hudson on the left side, they had Dawand on the right side, and they had to roll with it. The other part about that is I think they are also maybe perhaps trying to send a message to Dawand that, you've got to be ready to go. You've got to have your conditioning, and this is what it's going to take to get through a full football game. So I think there was a little method to their madness.
And Ashley, look, it was certainly an opportunity for Dawand, and we got a chance to talk to him after the game a little bit too.
Yeah, I asked him, was minicamp, because we all remember on minicamp when we saw him struggling with his conditioning, if that was a wake-up call for him. And I thought it was interesting. He actually said really it was OTAs when the veterans came. That kind of served as his wake-up call. He said he worked really hard in those couple weeks they were away to change his diet before training camp and really try and get ready, and that he felt like he's shown that his conditioning has improved by playing every snap tonight.
Now, on the bad side, a guy who really needs to fight to get on this roster, Anthony Schwartz. He had a tough night tonight, and it's really tough when he's out there playing in the fourth quarter of this football game. But Mary Kay, he had a fumble early in the game, and really he wasn't much of a factor later in the game either when Dorian Thompson-Robinson was out there. And it's just becoming more and more clear that this is going to be an uphill battle for Anthony.
Yeah, I think he had one catch on the Felton TD drive, so that was a good rebound there. But as you mentioned, the fact that he had the fumble, that is just not going to help his cause at all. His first touch of the game, he gets the ball stripped from him. And that is the kind of stuff that they're looking for, him to completely eliminate. And he wasn't able to do that tonight. The reason why it's unfortunate for him is because Marquise Goodwin is out with blood clots. The door is open for Anthony Schwartz. He's got to be able to go barging through it.
Yeah, and Ashley, again, it's getting tougher and tougher to make the case for him to stick around much longer.
Yeah, I think I wrote that in my story right after the game that we're in year 3 with him at this point, and it feels like a lot of those questions that have kind of plagued him ever since he came into the NFL, can this guy actually combine his speed with holding on to the football? He hasn't been able to answer those, and I know the Browns and the coaching staff have been very cognizant of him speaking up about his mental health struggles last year after he dealt with a lot of drops in the preseason. But in year 3, when these things are still an issue, it definitely is going to make your chance to get a 53-man roster spot an uphill battle.
Hey, the Browns are 1-0. They start the preseason 1-0. They do it right here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. They're going to get 3 more shots at preseason games still. And, of course, Joe Thomas going into the Hall of Fame on Saturday afternoon. We'll have full coverage of everything at cleveland.com/Browns.